Well, hello everybody. We're getting close to a year. Mr. Chestnut and I, y'all worn us down, and we uh, we tried to come up with new ideas and new conversations, a little bit of humor here and there. But we're approaching a year. I think this is number 51, and next week will be 52 or thereabouts. And hope you've enjoyed it. But today we're gonna get serious, or as they say on the street in Robinson County, serious. I know that most of you have a budget. You may not have it written down, but you probably got it in your head. If you make $50,000 a year, you're not probably going to want to spend $65,000 a year. I wouldn't think so. If you do, you're going to get, if that compounds, you're going to get in a lot of trouble. Fairmont, Lumberton, New York City, we all have budgets. The man who knows more about that than I'll ever begin to know is sitting here with me. And Mr. Chestnut, I'm going to defer to him with a few introductory comments and give him the majority of the time today because that's what this is all about. You're going to see this after July 1st, and July 1st is when most fiscal year budgets start. But I will tell you this now. I've been in government 45 and a half years. That means that I have been exposed to 45 budgets. Never put one together. I voted on all of them. Never had to vote to break a tie. 11 years of mayor. Been on the government 45 years. Never seen a mayor have to break the tie. But we did last week. I did last week. And it's senseless to get into reason why. Everybody's got their reasons why they vote for things. And the vote was 2-2 and I had to break the tie. No problem. But budgets are serious matters. The most important thing that a local government does, I don't care if you're in a town of 15 people or 50,000, is to prepare and vote on and put into practice a budget. I'm going to defer to Mr. Chestnut at this point because I think he can tell you a lot more about budgets and especially ours than I can. Mr. Chestnut.
Most definitely, Mr. Mayor. As always, thank you and the listeners out there and our videographer right here that brings these news to you on a weekly basis. Today is June the 30th, 2025, and tomorrow, July the 1st, our budget for the upcoming fiscal year goes into effect for the next 12 months. Before I start, I wanted to say, I have reviewed the budget line by line, literally line by line. Our finance officer, Jenny Larson, did a very good job on this budget. Our department heads, I was able to have some serious and concrete conversations with them about their needs, about their wants, about their wishes going forward in this the next fiscal year. We had some commissioners that had concerns about this budget. We had some citizens that had concerns about this budget. This is what I know for a fact is that the budget that my staff and I proposed to the board is the best budget. It's balanced, and this is what we came up with. And again, if you look at budgeting and why we do it, for one, most budget conversations are driven by basic requirements that the state of North Carolina has given us about when we produce our budget message, when we have our budget workshops, giving the proper notice to our citizens, and everything throughout this period, Mr. Mayor, has been done to standard. There were some things I would have liked to see in the budget. I didn't even discuss them because I knew how tight things were, But these are some highlights for you. There's been 0 increases in the property tax rate for the town. There has been 0 increases in the water and sewer rates for this town or the garbage rates for this town. So right there, tell our citizens that for one, we care about them not wanting to pay more money. We understand that. Our board of commissioners really didn't at no point brought up the raising of taxes. There are some considerable discussion around the water and sewer rates, and that's going to be fluid as we move forward anyway, based on conversations we're going to have around the regional system. But the big thing up front is outright no raises to our citizens for basic services of water, sewer, and garbage, or their property tax rates. And of course, the county will not do their next property reevaluation for, I think, another 5 years.
Right.
You know, so our citizens will see, that, no one is trying to hurt them. And this budget is proper, it's within regulation, and it's balanced. And it's balanced.
I'm not
You
going
know.
to jail for Mr. Chestnut and anybody else.
That's right.
I tell you that right now.
And we don't look good in orange.
No, that's right.
We did have some good civilian citizen input, and the board was able to listen to their comments during the public hearing. So as we move forward, one of the things I had a conversation with two of my commissioners is that we will start this year with a set budget. But throughout the year, for various reasons, whether it's emergencies or things that just popped up that we just didn't foresee coming, the budget can be amended throughout the year to make sure that basic services are continuing to be provided for our citizens and we keep the lights on in town.
Well, another thing that people don't realize, you get a monthly bill for your water, sewer, and sanitation, and you pay that. You get a bill once a year for your property taxes. But what you don't understand is, because you're dealing with your home budget, we have a hurricane comes into Fairmont or touches Fairmont in some way, we may end up having to spend enormous amounts of money outside of what the government can help us. Ronnie Seals, our public works director, does not know from moment to moment when a bolt may break on a piece of equipment at a sewer plant that costs $1,500.
Yeah.
You think I'm making this up? You think I'm joking? I absolutely not. It's serious. This is my serious face. $1,500, $10,000. Big, huge amounts. Mr. Chestnut, he signs every document in which money is paid out every day.
Most definitely.
Jenny gets them all together and he gives them to him at a certain time, and he has to go through this little big stack and sign them. We have no idea what the money's going to be like on a day-to-day basis. I mean, we could lose half a wall in the Heritage Center today. A truck could run into the back of it. Still, somebody's got to pay for that.
That's
I mean, it's going to be a while to get it paid for. We could have a massive sewer leak shooting, out of the water. I mean, in the air.
Yeah.
We have to plan for that.
Most definitely.
So when we have a choice of voting for $1.75 difference in a water account, but that will also cause a $30,000 carve out in our fund balance, which is a fancy word of saying savings account. You can't do that. You just can't do that. That would be like me taking $30,000 out of my savings account downtown at the bank and not paying it back. There's a $30,000 hole in my savings account.
Most definitely. And how do we combat this going into the future? How can we do more with what we have in Fairmont? And I'm telling all of our listeners, today is June the 30th. Even this morning, our public works director came into 2 water leaks, small water leaks.
Right.
But those are things that cost money. We pay out, we fix, get the materials today. And then this evening, we have to, finalize our budget that we have been operating up under the past 12 months. And you brought up a good point, Mr. Mayor, about the way things are paid out and the way money is managed. No invoice makes it to my finance officer or myself without first the department head looking at that invoice. Then generally it goes to my deputy clerk, then Jeannie, then to myself. So you have 4 people, individuals in full-time positions, that's going to make sure that every dollar we spend is needed. And I think that's important for everybody to realize how careful we watch every dollar in the town. Now, I need to step back for a second and I don't want to drag this video out too long, but when I asked how can we make things better going into the future, we have to put homes on these vacant lots in town. We have to bring major users here for property tax purposes.
Every one of them adds income to the town.
Most definitely. And if we're using space that is not currently occupied or developed yet, that's only a plus for the town. There's absolutely very little negativity that comes with development, So as we go forward, really over the next 6 months, my intern isn't here today, but we're literally going street by street in this town to see how can we increase our density, our population. I'm gonna meet with the county economic developer. I've got to find a tenant for our last major industrial space we have in town, and we're gonna have a bright year as we move forward, Mr. Mayor.
I'm gonna say one final thing and then we'll go. Talking about fiscal responsibility, it would be easier, and you can quote me on this, it would be easier to get gold bars out of Fort Knox, Kentucky, than to try to get money out of this town through some corrupt method.
That's right.
Having to go through Rodney King and Jenny Larson and Jerome Chestnut. It is not possible.
That's right.
End of sentence, end of video. Have a great day. Save your money and don't waste it. Bye-bye.